Servus and welcome back to a new episode. Don't worry, today won't be about any horror or monster flicks. At least I hope so. Today it's all about this body here, the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis if you're living in the US of A. This particular Genesis, or Mega Drive, is my old one from back in the day. And why is it so dirty and disgusting? Actually, this Mega Drive was victim of a flood. And the flood happened 12 years ago. Yeah, you heard right. During the flooding, I was able to save it from its original box and stored it on a shelf in a safe place. After that, time went by and, to be honest, I completely forgot about it. Until now. That's why this episode is called The Mega Drive That Could Not Die. Because I hope, although it was victim of a flood in 2010 and was sitting in a shelf for about 12 years in this state, I will still manage to get it working again. But wait, you might ask, are you sure that it's not still working yet? To be honest, I don't know, but let's move to the bench and find out.
Okay, stop. First of all, my apologies. I tried a new camera angle for this scene, but stupid is as stupid does, and of course I forgot to hit the record button. Sorry for that. But be assured, I tested and tried it, but at this stage there was no life in the Mega Drive at all. Alright, and now back to the video.
Well, let's start. But in this case, gloves are definitely needed, so... Oh yeah, this is a bit crusty and dirty. But maybe it was good that this cartridge was sitting in the slot. Who knows? We'll see about that. So, maybe I'll need another screwdriver for this. Preparation is everything. Okay, there is one.
Well, obviously the cable for the power LED is cut, but why should I have done this in the past? I'm sorry, I don't know. And it doesn't matter at all, if the Mega Drive can rise from its grave, I'm just gonna repair it. The shielding on the inside is, like the outside of the case, very dirty and also quite rusty from the water damage. And that's also the result of the Mega Drive sitting for 12 years on a shelf. So if your precious retro hardware suffers a flood or a water damage, water or humidity and bare metal don't get along very well together, and rust is the result. Let's continue and see what awaits us beneath this metal shield. Well, also a lot of dirt and rust, but luckily not on the essential parts. And it looks like the cartridge connector is also a bit damaged, but this damage has to be much older than 12 years. This is how a bottom of a Mega Drive looks after it was soaked in dirty water. Anyhow, time for some intense cleaning to get the most of the dirt and grime off the components. and at this degree of pollution, I'm just gonna soak everything in water. The PCB goes into the dishwasher and afterwards gets some time over the weekends to dry up completely.
Well, actually, after some intense cleaning, the whole thing looks a lot better than before. And I really think, there's also a lot of work that needs to be done. But all in all, I think we're heading somewhere. If the end is a working Mega Drive, we will see. But as it looked before, I think there's a notable difference. But there is one big thing left, and that's the RF modulator. As you can see here, there is a lot of rust and dirt and grime underneath, so I think the only way to tackle this properly is desoldering this thing and see what's beneath. So there are some points to desolder. It's mounted here, here and here. And those 3 wires are the connections. So 1, 2, 3, this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4 points to desolder, and then I'm hoping to get it out. Just one more thing. Obviously, this board was assembled or quality checked on the 25th of June 1992. So I would say this is the birthday of this PCB.
Next on my list is removing the RF modulator for cleaning and closer inspection. This took quite some time, and while it is doable without one, a desoldering gun might be really handy here. And would also save a lot of time, of course.
Well, and finally, there we go. And would you look at that? So this was absolutely worth it. Now I'm able to clean all this gunk. Right, perfect. And also let's have a look inside this little RF modulator. Of course, I will be using the DIN output, so actually I don't need this anymore, but I want to get it clean and I want to put it back on. All right, let's start the intense cleaning process.
So, time for cleaning again. While it is not perfect, I think the RF modulator looks way better than before and of course a lot cleaner. Time to solder it back into its place.
Alright, let's try to get it back in there. Yeah, works. Sits flat on the board. Should work perfectly. So, let's solder it back in after we twisted those pairs again. Alright, let's clean it up. Yeah, I think this should work. Yeah. That might do the trick. Excellent.
Next thing I wanted to get out of the way was the bent pins on the cartridge connector. And honestly, I have absolutely no clue what caused this damage anyway. For dirty and rusty screws, I've got my little friend here, a nifty supersonic cleaner. Alright, time for some new thermal compound on the voltage regulators, and after reinstalling the heatsink, it is finally time for some testing. Is my Mega Drive still an undead zombie, or will it rise from its muddy and dirty grave? Let's find out. And the multimeter confirms, voltages are perfectly fine. Let's see if there is still life and of course, video and sound in this 16-bit beast. And yes, success! Oh yeah, I'm absolutely happy. My old and forgotten Mega Drive is working again.
Get ready.
But before reassembling, there is one last issue I want to tackle, the cut power LED. To be honest, I was not really happy with the original solution, so I desoldered the original cable and installed a pin header for connecting the power LED cable. This should make any further maintenance much easier. Perfect. Let's reassemble the now clean parts back together. Excellent! A repaired and working Mega Drive, hopefully fit for many years to come.
And there you have it. This Mega Drive is a real phoenix. It was sitting on a shelf for over a decade, covered in mud and drowned in a flood. But after some intense cleaning and refurbishing, it is still going strong. Nearly 30 years after it left the factory. But what is there left to play after I lost all my cartridges over the years, except for Outrun and the Mega games? Well, this might be useful here. The Mega EverDrive, an FPGA-based cartridge with an SD card, where you put all your ROMs on, which you own of course, legally, and off you go. Would have been a real dream to have something like this back in the day. Well, if you excuse me, I'm jumping back to the 90s for a bit and do some blast processing on my 16-bit machine. Because my Sega Mega Drive told me, Sega does what Nintendo don't. So, thanks for watching, stay safe, stay foolish, and see you in another video. Servus and bye bye.